Alright, welcome fellas, Dodgee, Bruce, Beard, stuff I shouldn't have done. Welcome to my channel, the most unscripted YouTube channel, automotive section in blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I did a boo-boo. I had some scratches in here and I decided to sand it off, and I could have just polished it out. But I sanded it and stuffed it, as you can see. Not looking good. I was thinking maybe get some paint, but to try and get just a can, it's just, I may do it later, but at the moment I'm just going to see, just clear coat it again, just put the top coat back over that. And I mean, it's gone through the metal because it is wavy, because the previous owner must have, you can see there, they rubbed it up against it. They can't drive for shit, couldn't park anyway, so it's a bit, yeah. So what we're going to do is go with 1200 wet and dry. I can't use that yet. 1200, and just make this a little bit finer, and then ow, that's warm. It's actually warm today, which is good. So we'll prep that with 1200, make it a little bit more smoother, and then just hit it with a clear coat just to seal it, because that's not quite bare metal, that is bare metal. Just to seal it so it don't rust, and just to make it look a little bit nicer. It may not get straight back to what it was, but it won't be as noticeable. So we need, I'll probably have to do that as well, the looks of it. See, this whole bloody side's been hit, or I've attacked it, and yeah. Okay, so there's a bit there's a bit to go. Okay, I've done more, I need more than I did. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, let's get into it. So I need a bucket of water. Let's go find a bucket of water. Alright, so a quick wipe of that is good. But now, all these damn bugs, they're just flying around everywhere. You know, as soon as I spray that, they're going to come and attack it, because that's what they do. Anyway, so there was a bit more up here, so I've just gone through and just scuffed that a bit there. But that's 1200 wet and dry, and it actually dried fairly quickly and wiped it down, and that's dry. So let's see. Now this is just a straight clear coat. I'm not going to mask anything, because that's time and effort. We don't have time and effort actually before I do anything. Safety beard engaged. Don't want to paint that. See, that's actually covering it up. It is rough because this ain't the best dealio. You can literally see it disappearing. I would have liked to have used an actual spray gun, and I might still do it because I still have what's the name, a litre of clear for the Z. But this will just make it not stand out so much. And at least with this I can maybe wet, there's the other piece, wet sand it just a little bit more to get the orange peel out of it, because it definitely has orange peel. But what it doesn't have is big scratch marks. This nozzle is not the best. Do some cross hatching. That's It's looking a lot better. A bit patchy, but at least it's not so shiny anymore, or stands out so much that it's been scuffed. Woo, that smells good. Don't breathe it in. So that is orange peely, but you can still wet sand that, or even polish once it's really dry. Polish that flat, and that might actually then match the rest of the panel. But there we go. It does look a little bit dull. That looks a bit better. But these aren't the best for a good cover. This is an old one too, so I might be going a bit too fast for it. Too close. About 25-30 centimetres. If it starts to run, you're too close. Oh, you're in there now. Bit of dust. Not too close, not too far away. It does hurt your fingers after a while because, ow, but ooh, as you can see, scuff is gone. Especially over that rear wheel arch and back here. Look, it's actually a reflection now. So you don't need to repaint everything, you just need to give it a good clear coat. Now, as I said, that doesn't look that good when you consider that there. But I've put enough coats on it, could always do more. Go back and wet sand that, or even polish it, would make it come up a lot brighter. Well, see there versus there. So it is definitely not shiny, but it is all one. But yeah, so just, and that's not a colour, even though it looks darker, that will lighten up a bit, only because it's sunny, it's worn. This car hasn't been buffed since I got it, and God knows when it was buffed. The shine could get a lot darker and deeper and bluer and blah blah blah, which you could then incorporate that in, and it'll work. It'll look oh, I'm getting sweaty now. It'll match, and it matches a lot better now anyway, so that doesn't look as bad. But we could wet sand that, or because it's rippled, I'll probably end up going through it just to polish, a cut and polish, and that might actually come up nice and shiny. So that is always good. So that's all I wanted to do. Oh, it did pass Rego. Whoops, that dust. Sorry. It did pass Rego. So all I've got to do is just go pay for it and get plates. So it's ready to roll. He was a little bit concerned about an oil leak underneath. I think it's all the pan bolts, but apparently rear main seals also leak on these things, because that's the same as the Ford engine, Mondeo, or I don't know, I don't know what it was. But it's a Mazda B series motor, so apparently they just leak eventually. But that's alright, I'll get on there and give those. Anytime you're underneath an old car, just get the 10mm and go zip, 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 zip around the sump bolts, because they're always going to bloody leak. Over time, the gasket shrinks from heat cycles, which means it then leaves a gap. The gasket shrinks, and don't go overboard with the 10mm, because you will snap it. Basically, even just grab it in your hand and just an extension, so you don't lever it too much and break them. But anyway, that's that. Got one more thing to show you before we go away. I've just done the oil. Not a lot of oil, even though it says it's full. That's... People, change your oil. Servicing. That's... Yuck. That's black, people. That's terrible. Service your cars. Oil, please. Anyway, that's not the problem, although there doesn't seem to be a lot there. Is the filters. My God. How tiny are these damn filters? I mean, look at my hand. I could almost crush the damn thing. It's like, I mean, I've got small hands. Look at the size of the filters. They're tiny. They're literally smaller than the palm of my hand. And trying to undo it, nothing fits because they're so damn small. So, but yeah, I think I don't know where it is now. I got a piece of fabric, wrapped it around a wrench, and then wrapped it around this, and then turned it. That's the only way I could do it. But my God, are they small? Apparently that's the number. Where is it? And all over me. Yeah, that's look. Oh look, he's out. But look at that. Ah, yuck. That is just disgusting. So people, service your damn cars, will you? Oh, this is why things blow up and die. Oh, my car died for no reason. No, it died because you didn't look after it. Ugh. And now my other cars. Oh, sorry, Valiant. Oopsies. Oops. Yeah, so that's interesting. Oh, come back. Don't forget, if you're going to do it yourself, this little rubber ring, smear some oil on it before you put it in the car so it doesn't bind and then create a gap. Always put a bit of oil. It doesn't matter if it's the old oil. Just put a bit of oil over this rubber O-ring. Just smear it on. Don't have to put too much on. Just smear it on so it's at least got a layer of protection. So when you go to screw it on, it doesn't bind and then go over itself or overlap or catch. And do it just above hand tight. So go hand tight and then that much. That's it. Don't over crank the damn things because that once they heat up, they get tight. They sit. That's what the rubber's for. Don't crank on the damn things, otherwise you can never get the damn things off, and that sucks. Anyway, let's go see the other thing. So what we've got, putting some valve covers onto a Holden V8. They're always a problem. They're always a problem because if you don't put them on right, they do this. They curl up at the ends, as you can see, and it slips out. Even when you put on this much gunk, which literally, unless that dries, that's just going to make it slide more. So I mean, that's just way too much silicone, people. What do we say when we do that to our car?
Just don't.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry car.
Sorry car. Yes. Say sorry to the car. Just put a little dab just here and there. Just a little dab just to hold it down. Because these are supposed to clip, not clip, but they kind of do, kind of don't. Make sure you actually clean the face of it so there's no lumpy bits. But you might see there's a little, see that little tear? That little tear sits inside this little groove like that. Sits just into there and it kind of holds it in. But make sure all this is clear. Just put a little dob around because these can shift when you move them. Like this one did. And where's the other end of it? This one. You can see where it moved out and it only caught that little bit on the actual head and all the rest of this squeezed out, as you can see. And yeah, and seeing the car's been sold, it has to get running. Well, it has to get running either way. Ask yourself, can I afford to do this later on if I rush it? If the answer is no, I cannot afford the time or the energy or the money to redo this, just take that little bit extra help or time and just do it properly. I mean, it is a pain on the cars because, I'll just quickly show you, because you have got stuff in the way, pipes, cables. You knock one of those and you could knock it out, which it can be done, but just put a little dob just here and there just to hold the gasket onto the actual rocker cover, and that way it won't move. But also your brand, these are Permaseal. They actually fit really good when you tuck that in properly. They actually do fit quite well. Now these ones weren't Permaseal, and I mean, these have got a little bit of movement, a little bit of stretchiness in them, so just be careful. That's why you got to glue it down, just a little bit of glue, not gunk finger painting. But they will move, so you got to be careful, especially in these corners here, which this is where, actually if I put this on here, sorry if I'm not showing you, you'll see in the corners here is where it rolled up and moved. You can see that's kind of okay across there, but then when you come to here and it moved out, and then there's literally nothing holding the gasket. There's just that little bit of gasket to stop the engine from leaking when it's hot. It's not a good idea. You want all of it. So depending on the gaskets, even cork gaskets can be a pain in the ass. This, as you can see, not good. And just the amount of silicone is just not good either, because it does move. This actually moved back like that instead of being right up there. This is why you got to check it once it's on the car. Just put your finger around and check to make sure these are actually sitting in the right place, because you do not want it to bend out like that, which is why all this bit isn't under tension. It's all this bit, which should still work, but if there's gonna leak, it's gonna leak like there. So yeah, and the same with that one. It's just too much, so don't overdo the silicone. Just put a little bit on to hold it in place. So then you can just, still gotta take that off. Still, yeah, just a little bit just to hold it in place. And the gasket were, what was the last one? Felpro, that's right, they were Felpro. And still didn't quite do it. So always check to make sure that they actually fit properly. Now, that should fit fairly good. But yeah, just make sure they actually fit properly. If anything, put a dab of silicone every now and again, and then leave it on something flat till it dries. So make sure that is actually up there, not out here. Make sure it's all sitting where it's supposed to, and actually just put it on something flat, concrete kind of, piece of metal would be better, obviously not old tables. And that will then dry the way it's supposed to be, and then you can pick it up and put it on, and then it shouldn't move once you put it in, because there's a good chance it will move. So there's your tech tip from Dodgee's Tech Tip. Don't overdo the silicone, and make sure even the name brands actually fit, because otherwise you have to do what he's doing right now, which is redo the whole thing again, which we don't want. So there's a tech tip. So this is just a quick vid for today, or this week, because I don't know what else I'm going to do, because I had no money until next week. So, but the Mazda is ready, fixed, done. It's about next week I'll pay for rego, get the plate, so that's done. I just have to do the oil leak on it, check. This should be done today, and then that's it. So we'll see what happens anyway. Click like, subscribe if you want to see me bugger up other stuff and maybe break stuff and show you other people's foibles. And then of course, yeah, I've got so many other things, as you can see, that I need to do. Yeah. So, yeah, subscribe if you want. Click like, blah blah blah, and we shall see you in the future. I'm pretty sure it will be. So until then, hello. Where's that damn cat gone? Meow. Oh, ooh, there he is.